Hello everyone, this is Moses from Wilona's Cave, and we are going to continue our adventure with Hackleswell in Dragonbane. Let's begin. So we left off where Hackleswell found a shiny coin that we pulled up from a card, the random cards from the decks of a Dragonbane box set, and through the luck of, the random rolls of the solo rules that come with Dragonbane, I interpreted that the coin has a genie inside of it, and the coin was talking to Hackleswell. So that's where we're going to continue right now. We're going to get right to it. My family's still sleeping. I need to hurry this up. So I already thought about, before I started filming, what I want the genie to help me with. So I have the genie ready. One moment. So as Hackleswell keeps rubbing the mud off the coin he found, a genie appears. And he's like, oh my God, I can't believe this. What do I wish for? There's a genie in front of me. I can't believe I found a genie. And the genie's like, hold your horses, hold on. So I already thought about what Hackleswell can do with this genie. One, I want to keep this genie with me as long as possible. They do work with wishes, so I'm going to write up a PDF so anybody could just download it on Genie with the system. So you could play a genie in your own game if you like. So what I really want out of everything else, I thought, you know what? I can just wish that I end up at the waterfall and then hurry this thing up and get to the location that he wants to go to. But I think that Hackleswell wants to have this journey. He's learned a lot about himself, and he's gained a lot of knowledge. He's met a lot of old friends. He's thought a lot. He's getting his confidence back, like how he beat the ghost in the previous episodes. He's getting his confidence back, and he's hearing his daughter's voice through the locket that was gifted to him or enchanted by his friend. The locket of the wooden sunflower his daughter gave him as a gift. So he's on this journey, he's learning a lot, and it's helping him. So I want to continue that journey with this genie. But what I want to do is, I want the genie right now, I want to wish for the genie to help Hackleswell in his dreams with his sleeping. Hackleswell cannot continue getting a dazed condition every time he takes a sleeping poison that was given to him by Ogred's wife of the herbs he found long, long ago. And he can't continue that way. It's not healthy. It's dangerous because, you know, he can be ambushed, etc., etc., etc. He can't keep going like that. So I want Hackleswell right now to take his last sleeping poison and him to wish for the genie to enter his mind, his dream, and figure out what's going on, why he's having insomnia. So I'm going to do that right now. So he looks at the genie, and the genie says, would you like to make a wish? And Hackleswell says, yes, I am going to take a sleeping poison. I don't want to wish for him to make me go to sleep. That's wasting a wish. I want to take my sleeping poison, and I want you to enter my dream with me and help guide me, or at least witness what I'm seeing. And maybe you can see something that I am not. I have trouble sleeping, and I cannot sleep at all. And the genie says, of course. So Hackleswell takes his sleeping poison and goes to sleep. So let's go. So we are now in Hackleswell's dream. So at this moment, he can hear his daughter's voice coming from the entrance of this cave, right where the light is. The light is flickering. There's a little bit of wind blowing. Not much noise of birds or animals, but you could hear the leaves of the trees. But you hear his daughter's voice calling out to him through that cave right there. So I wonder if Hackleswell and the genie can communicate with each other. I don't think they can. Let me ask the oracle right now. So it's a D6. Let me get my D6. So it's a D6. Let's see. Can Hackleswell and the genie communicate with each other? Or is like basically the genie just following Hackleswell around? Let's see. 4. Yes. So the genie and Hackleswell can communicate. Now that's something I didn't think would happen. I thought it was going to be a no. So they can communicate. It's not an extreme yes. So I'm going to interpret that as they can just communicate. An extreme yes could have been where the genie could also manipulate the dream or interact with stuff like grabbing something, opening doors, etc., etc. But right now, all it is the genie and Hackleswell can speak to each other. Okay, so let's continue. So the genie asks Hackleswell, "Is that a little girl I hear calling you?" And Hackleswell says, "Yes, that is my daughter, or at least I think it is." And Hackleswell said, "So this is typically how my dream goes, and when I enter an entrance, sometimes the entrance is different, but when I enter the entrance, things get a little spooky and I tend to have a nightmare and wake up." And the genie says, "Well, let's go. I'm here with you. Although I can't," and the genie's trying to grab stuff, and he says, "Well, although it looks like I cannot interact with anything, but I at least can speak to you and view other things that maybe you're not seeing." So Hackleswell feels comforted by this, and they both slowly go to the cave opening. So now they're closer to the cave opening, and the voice is getting louder. And the genie starts looking at Hackleswell, and he starts seeing Hackleswell crying a little bit, like just shedding some tears. And he takes note of that, but they continue on. So they get closer and closer, and he notices Hackleswell's shaking. Even though he knows the genie's with him, he's still shaking. So it's not that he's afraid of being alone. He's just afraid, period, to enter this opening. But regardless, the genie puts his, you know what? I don't think the genie could even touch Hackleswell. But so the genie basically, to comfort him, he tried to touch his shoulder to, comfort him, but it went through his body. So the genie tells Hackleswell, "Do not be worried, I'm here with you." Hackleswell takes a deep breath, and then they both enter the opening. So now right after Hackleswell and the genie enter that opening in the forest, they immediately enter this gothic castle. Eerie sounds, just dappled lighting shimmering through the window, and a stairway going upward. The genie is focusing on the surroundings of things that maybe Hackleswell is not noticing, but Hackleswell is only staring at the staircase going up for some reason. I think maybe this has happened in the previous dream, or all the dreams, where it's always climbing something or going through a cave or a tunnel or something like that. Regardless, so the genie looks at Hackleswell and says, "Is this normal or typical? Is there anything out of the ordinary, Hackleswell?" Let's say that's what he asks. Let's go to the oracle for that. And if anything is out of the ordinary, we're going to roll on Spot Hidden with Hackleswell and see if he notices anything that is out of the ordinary. Let's see. And I roll a 2, which is no, nothing's out of the ordinary. This is typically how his nightmares or dreams typically progress. But they both can hear a little girl calling out on the top of the staircase. So Hackleswell follows that voice. So as Hackleswell and the genie enter this room, they notice that the temperature drops significantly. And get ready for this, a dad joke, and he starts getting duck bumps. Not goosebumps, but duck bumps. Anyways, fine. Whatever. If you didn't laugh, you didn't laugh. So, I just thought about that right now. But Hackleswell once again is focusing on another opening or a stair. That's all he's looking at, stairs and an opening. So he keeps looking at the opening against that wall. Right now they're in the top of the staircase. So the genie once again looks around, and does he see anything? I wonder if I could just do a spot hidden for him. I'm going to say a spot hidden for him for most of his rolls is a 10. So let's see on a d20 if he rolls a 10 or less, if the genie notices something. Let's see if the genie notices anything. Let's see. 16. Nope. Still doesn't notice anything. But once again, they hear a little girl's voice calling out. And he notices Hackleswell focusing on that opening in the wall. The doorway opening. Just basically like a trance following that voice. Okay, now they are in a stone corridor. And there's a bright light shining through an entryway. And once again, they hear a little girl's voice, but it sounds a little farther away this time around for some reason. And I wonder if Hackleswell once again is following it. But I wonder if the genie tells Hackleswell to stop. And let's look around for 1 second. I want Hackleswell and the genie to both look around to see if they see anything hidden. So I'm going to roll a 2d20, 1d20 for each one. So Hackleswell's spot hidden is a 14 and the genie's a 10. So let's do that right now. Let's see. If we get... Basically, if we get a 15 or above, they both don't see it. So if it's a, 14 is Hackleswell. So let's see. Let's see if this is 14 or below on any of these two on the 2d20, they see something. So there's a 14 and a 5. So they both see something. Okay, let me roll on the inspiration table that comes in the solo rules with Dragonbane. And let's see what we get. So it's 1d20 on the inspiration. 11. Protect Forgotten Leader. Okay, let's roll again. 18. Strengthen Sacred Trap. A forgotten trap. So they both notice a trap. But a forgotten trap, huh? What's a forgotten trap? So I'm going to use Hackleswell's ability of intuition, his heroic ability of intuition. It costs 3 willpower points. I'm going to basically ask the Oracle, maybe Hackleswell notices that this voice doesn't sound like his daughter anymore. Like it's getting more evil, almost demonic. He notices something wrong, but let's see if his intuition is strong enough or is remembering how his daughter's voice used to sound like. Let's see if he notices the slight inflection in the voice. There's a slight change, but let's see if he notices it, but let's see if him not being, having a father's love for his daughter, clouding his judgment. Let's see if his intuition shines through. Let's see right now. Let's roll on the Oracle. A 4. So yes, he does notice something's wrong. It's not an extreme yes. So right now, the genie is looking at Hackleswell, and Hackleswell stops. He was about to walk into the opening, and Hackleswell stops, and the genie says, "Do you notice that the voice has changed a little bit?" And Hackleswell looks at the genie and says, "Yes, I did. And I don't believe that's my daughter." And the genie, this is what I would ask if I was a genie. The genie asks, "Is this where typically you start waking up?" And without rolling, I'm going to just say yes. Hackleswell looks back and nods his head and says, "Yes, this is a spot where it gets a little too frightening for me." And I think if I was the genie, you're not going to find the solution to the problem if you don't know the core root of the problem. And the core root of the problem is probably beyond this entryway. The genie being there is helpful as it is, and he's thinking you can't get harmed in a nightmare other than not sleeping, which is in its own right very detrimental to your health. But I think the genie advises him, I think we should still go forward. I'm here with you, but let's be more cautious. And they both enter the opening in the corridor. And that is where I'm going to leave this episode. My family's starting to wake up, really. I got to hurry this up. But I hope you enjoyed this. I'm trying to do this as spontaneous as I can. I'm rolling a lot, and I'm going to roll some more. So it doesn't feel so much like a story for me, because I'm actually interested as well. I have no idea what's going to happen beyond this opening. I know it's probably not going to be good, but maybe it could be the solution to Hackleswell's insomnia. I'd like to thank all of you, and I'd like to thank all my Patreons as well. I'll put up a link in the description if you want to join my Patreon page. Let me know if there's any questions. I hope you enjoy this again, like I said. Happy gaming, everybody. Bye.